My name is Duddy, Saddle Builds and stuff. Today I've got a video about the Delicate Tomb. This is getting a buff next season, specifically the Tempest Cascade shot. It's actually getting a buff in PvE. 100% extra damage this shot is going to do, which is going to be absolutely disgusting. This shot already jolts on hit, and Delicate Tomb is a very, very good weapon anyway. Now watch what happens here. Look on that bottom left, that Tempest Cascade point. I'm going to show you how to get that infinitely via pulse grenades on an Arc Titan. Feed it with the Ionic Trace. The shot is going to do 100% extra damage, and we're going to be infinitely able to keep that Tempest Cascade point going. So stay with me, I'll break it all down. So Delicate Tomb, it's an Arc fusion rifle, 500 rounds per minute, obviously exotic. It's got the Traitor's Vessel on there, fires a wide horizontal spread when shot from the hip. Final blows with this weapon have a chance to generate Ionic Traces. Powerful foes and opposing guardians always generate Ionic Traces. And it's also got the perk on there, Tempest Cascade. Collecting an Ionic Trace overcharges this weapon's next shot, jolting targets on hit. So every time you collect an Ionic Trace, it's going to jolt targets. And it's also got the Catalyst on there. Now every time you collect an Ionic Trace, it's going to partially reload this magazine from reserves. So a really good Catalyst, infinite reloads. But this is what the weapon does. I'll just do a quick rundown of what it does. You basically just keep shooting targets, getting the kill. The Ionic Traces will appear. This Ionic Trace is also getting a buff, so stay with me. Now collecting Ionic Trace, that's going to proc your Tempest Cascade shot. That will reload, and then your next shot is going to jolt targets. Then you can sort of hip fire it, do the spread shot, and jolt numerous targets with it that way as well. But like I said, basically Bungie have decided to buff this. Now it's actually a really decent buff because they've increased the chance to make Ionic Traces from minor combatants from 4 to 10%. Increased the PvE damage bonus on the Tempest Cascade shot from 30 to 100% extra damage. And they've also removed the timer. So the timer on the Cascade point that you're seeing, it's like 14 seconds. That's going to be infinite now. So it's getting a massive damage increase. Ionic chance is going to be more often, and an infinite timer on that Cascade point. Now if you pair it up with a pulse grenade on the Arc Titan, this grenade periodically damages targets within its explosion radius. It's already a good pulse rifle, but on the Arc Aspect Touch of Thunder, pulse grenades create Ionic Traces periodically as it damages targets, and it increases the damage over time. So these little pulse grenades to do loads and loads of damage, as we know, they're absolutely magnificent, and it's going to create Ionic Traces on hit. So just like this, if you've got like a target, a tanky target in sight, lob your pulse grenade, and these Ionic Traces are going to keep coming back to your Delicate Tomb, and it's going to refill the magazine, and it's going to proc you that 100% extra damage on that next shot. So this is going to be absolutely great next season in my opinion, and it's getting slept on a little bit. It's going to be, I think, as the Cross mentioned, when Delicate Tomb first come out, it was absolutely exceptional with an Arc focused season. It was a very, very good weapon, and it was absolutely superb. If you could just look here, Ionic Traces, we're going to be getting infinite Cascade point, 100% extra damage, reloading the magazine, jolting everything left, right and centre, and obviously then pulse grenades are also going to be doing damage over time. So basically what I wanted to do with this video was go over a few ways we could sort of make the most out of it for next season. So just for like tanky targets, for example, champs, mages, miners, like whatever, you can sort of lob your pulse grenade, do a bit of extra damage like so. But I actually like it for a DPS option. So lob your pulse grenade like so, and then you've got your Cascade point, your Tempest Cascade going all of the time. So your pulse grenades are going to be doing massive damage with the correct aspects of fragments, which we'll go into as we go. But loads and loads of extra damage from your pulse grenade. Now, if you put in Armamentarium on there, for example, this will give you 2 grenades. This is just an option. It also has the firepower built in, and you can also do a little switch out with Curse of the Falling Star, just for an example. So get your pulse grenade down, that's going to feed your fusion rifle, the Delicate Tomb, with that 100% extra damage. You've obviously got 2 pulse grenades, which is massive anyway, and then all you really need to do then is, once you've thrown your 2 pulse grenades, quickly flip out to your Curse of the Falling Star, and then do a quick smash like that. So that's just an option. That's just one way you could sort of abuse it, make the most out of it. DPS options, tanky targets, I've also got some other exotics to show you that it could pair nicely with. So again, I really like it for DPS. I did a video on this when it first came out, the exact same video, more or less. I'll link that. It's an old video, so it's probably a bit out of date, but just for DPS situations, it's going to be exceptional. All I'm going to do is just quickly skim over everything you need to know. Touch of Thunder, which we've touched on. This improves your pulse grenades. We're also going to be running Knockout on the aspects. This is really good. It's going to give you health on melee kills and overcharge your melee. Now, Spark of Shock and Spark of Magnitude. Spark of Shock makes your arc grenades jolt. You may as well. Spark of Magnitude, your lingering arc grenades, including pulse grenades, have an extended duration. Spark of Resistance, it's a no-brainer. You're going to get extra resistance when you're surrounded. And then Spark of Beacons. Now, this one is actually quite underrated. While you're amplified, your arc, special or heavy weapon final blows create a blinding burst, like so. Everything you kill in that area, whether you use your arc sword, for example, or an arc heavy, or your delicate tomb, is going to be leaving a lingering blinding effect. Now, Heart of Inmost Light is another option to build into this. You're going to get loads of gains back with your ionic traces and everything. So, Armamentarium, Heart of Inmost Light, going to be an exceptional setup. Like for DPS situations, like I said, I like Armamentarium, get them 2 grenades off, quickly switch to your Cuirass of the Falling Star, and you could do some absolutely crazy damage. But yeah, I'll leave a dim link. I'll also leave all the sort of mods and everything playing out at the end as well. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.